Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from Xeno the Internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for April 6, 2019, with your hosts, Peacemaker2448 and Rapid Epsilon.
Hi. So, I don't know what happened. OBS just decided to crap itself when I transitioned, and apparently I'm having a hard time getting the background music to come back up now.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try to let it go, but there it goes. Don't do it again.
Geo disappointed me because it did the exact thing I thought it would. It just makes me sad because I'm like, you know, I'm good enough with Geo now that I can call it when they're going to do the stupid moment.
So, at any point that there's a dumb and a smart way to do it, then?
Yep. And I can't wait till they fuck up Drive. Because they promised Drive. We are promised the Drive tribute of some variety. And I can't wait for it to be a bad. Which, apparently only Go's actor of the main three is going to be able to come back because Tamari is too big and he's busy. And you know the Detective Pikachu movie that he's dubbing the main character in?
Mm-hmm.
He has a cameo in the movie as well. He physically gets to be in the movie too, which is kind of awesome. And Chase's actor is retired, so he's probably not coming back. So, I guess that just leaves Go, who apparently tweeted that he's off filming something. Don't know if it's Geo or the other thing. We'll get to that one. So, before we get into a wonderful small batch of news, Dolly, what have you been playing the last couple weeks?
Honestly, not really anything outside of what I've streamed. Like, I've done some Daggerhood stuff offline, but honestly, the bulk of the time I've spent within really the last probably about 3 weeks has been kind of focused in on the Odyssey Moon Randomizer.
I've been sick for a week, so that's been fun. I'm still technically sick. It's just transferred to my nose now instead of being in my throat for the last week. I continue to not get a win in Tetris 99, and I get annoyed every time I get close, but I can't get it. I keep breaking, like, top 20s and top 10s, but I can't clinch it. I don't know what to do.
Get good.
Apparently that's what I need to do.
I had to say it. I honestly don't know.
The problem is, I think every time I've gotten close, I've been knocked out by a Japanese player. I don't know if that's telling or not that I'm able to hang with Japanese players that long before I die.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I didn't even get to play Valkyria Chronicles 4. Or no, I got to play Valkyria Chronicles 4 a little bit more. Still enjoying that. I have the fun time of doing a mission once, going through it to a certain point until I realize, oh fuck, here's the twist, and then restarting the level from scratch because I know the twist now and I know how to compensate for the twist. Because the twist will get me killed. But I did, since it came in today, and my dog decided to punch me in the gut when I got handed the mail today, because that's my dog for you. Like, he is a smaller dog, but he actually dragged the gun safe, the fairly tall, fairly hefty gun safe on his own in the house. Like ponder that for a second. But this came in today. I posted it in chat for you. The Ryu Soul Kensei Ryu 3 Nights mini plot. I gave you the Bandai toy blog, or Bandai Candy Toy blog, just to give you images of it, since I have no pictures of it from what I built. That came in, I built it. It's really nice, and I really like, because if you look, you see all the 4-point pegs all
it's
over.
Still trying to load.
Oh, damn. Come on. Load. Load. I know, there's a lot of pictures. Is it loaded?
It's trying.
Oh, damn.
Chrome's trying to translate, even though I don't really want it to.
Why?
Because that's
Don't
Chrome
translate.
For you.
Damn it. But the mech is covered in these like 4 square, or this square of 4 pegs, and a lot of the components have a square of 4 peg holes. So there's just a lot of plug and play you can do with everything on this, which, considering you only get Tier Amigo and then blue and pink mechs, not that interesting in terms of, alright, what can I peg where for funsies? But I think when the next set comes out, which I assume will be Green's mech, Black's mech, and then like 1 or 2 auxiliary mechs, I assume you're going to have a lot of fun just plugging and playing wherever. Did it finally load?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a really nice. It's like $20. It's a nice little model kit. You don't even have to glue anything. It's just stickers. So anything that isn't like a primary plastic looking color is probably a sticker, to give you an idea. But I built that today before I fell asleep for like 5 hours, because that's been my week of just, well, I'm tired after being up for 2 hours. Let me go to sleep and be up, and then go back to sleep for like 2 hours more. Not really anything else besides what I streamed, which wasn't much this week. Anything else?
No, because I mean the only major thing that I've done, like I said, was Daggerhood. And I've drove down my PB for all fairies.
Yay!
And for any percent caverns on both, by the way. It's one of those. I'm now feeling like, you know, there shouldn't be but maybe a minute difference between them, and I've still got like nearing 2 minutes difference between them. So on those, I know there's still time to save, but I don't know if I want to sit there and grind it. Because I know any percent caverns, a sub 5 is possible, even though I've just now broke sub 6. So that tells me that all fairies should be probably right around the 6-minute mark.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm at 7 something? I can't remember. Now I'm gonna wind up looking it up.
Well, I need to step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. So, I know it should be around 6 minutes for all fairies caverns, and I'm at 7:41. So, yeah, there's easily close to 2 minutes time save there. I think at least if I don't drive down to any percent caverns PB that I've got, there's at least a minute time save. But yeah.
I'm back.
Okay. By the way, I've got a 741 for
Nice.
RTA on it. On all fairies. The any percent RTA time I've got is a 554. Really should have been like a 530 something, but yeah. And just to put that in comparison, in-game time, which we only count time for each level when you complete it, not multiple attempts.
Mm-hmm.
The any percent is for my PB is just shy of 4 minutes. The all fairies is like 5.5. There's not a minute and a half lost in getting the fairies. So yeah, that's one of those. I know with that even there is time to save. Like I'm wanting to say, I think I can pull it up. Yeah, that's actually the best in-game time I've got so far, even though I think it should be lower than that. But yeah.
Alright. So, shall we talk articles?
I guess I better make sure of something. I just thought about that.
What?
Okay. I couldn't remember if I had the web browser as the captured source.
Right-ro.
I did. Well, I do now. Let me put it that way. But yeah, let's talk some articles.
Alright, first up, Best Buy decided to have a trio of listings that are surprising, not surprising, and baffling, I guess? Would be the best way to describe the third one?
Surprising, not surprising, and baffling. Yeah, sounds about right.
So, it's a trio of Switch listings. The first of which is Persona 5S. The second of which is the Metroid Prime Trilogy. And the third of which is Link to the Past. So, before anyone starts to wonder the legitimacy of this, Persona 5S does have a teaser site right now. We are getting more information April 24th. So that's real. definitively. And I think all evidence has shown that the Metroid Prime trilogy is coming to Switch at some point.
And
So
I'm wanting to say that it has been on record that really we should have known about it by now. So
yeah,
chances are the only reason we don't is because of Metroid Prime 4 being delayed. The Link to the Past one? Huh? Like, I thought the whole purpose of the Nintendo Online stuff was so that they could treat that as their subscription-based virtual console.
yeah.
Wouldn't Link to the Past fit better there?
That's assuming that's original Link to the Past.
But it wouldn't be a remaster because A Link Between Worlds technically was that.
Uh-huh.
So, if we run off of that logic, this should be A Link Between Worlds, not A Link to the Past.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, I get back to my initial statement of I thought that was supposed to be in with that stuff.
I have no idea.
That one, I'm like, the only justification I could see for it is if Nintendo is fully aware of the randomizer community and they've built something in for that.
That's possible.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of is if that is the case. But even then, is it justifiable to have it as a release game?
Oh.
And rather than just have it as a digital download kind of deal?
Or as another bonus for the online subscription?
Yeah. I mean, that one's the one that I'm like, did someone screw up at Best Buy, and is that just that, or was this supposed to be April Fool's joke kind of deal?
A little late for an April Fool's joke.
I mean, yeah, but maybe. Like, maybe that was coded in there to be a joke, and then they decided against it.
Yeah.
But instead, someone decided to hit the wrong button.
Well, one thing I am curious about. Are you interested in picking up Persona 5 on Switch? Since that seems to be a real legitimate thing that could happen now?
I don't know. Like, I don't know, honestly. Part of me's like, part of me's thinking I wouldn't mind doing it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know.
I can guarantee you I can get you out of any sticky situation in the game.
Like I said, though, I'm on that fence right there. It's like, I'm not against getting it, but I'm not 100% on board either, so I'm like,
If you get it and stream it, I will be there with you every step of the way.
I do know one thing, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure it happens. If Prime Trilogy is an actual thing, that this leak just happened to leak way too early, then that might be a release day stream thing there for sure.
Yeah. That'll probably be the best version of the trilogy so far.
Okay. I'm gonna put it this way. It'll be the best version of Metroid Prime 3 so far. As far as the whole trilogy, I don't know. Like, that might be the question mark. Because, the GameCube ones actually weren't bad.
Yeah.
It
I meant it as a whole.
It was the port to the Wii that caused the problems. In my opinion, anyhow. Some people like it, but Also, that's something else that I've thought about. No one's questioned what the price for the Prime Trilogy would be.
I would assume 60.
Except for, I know when I picked it up on the Wii U, I got it, I'm wanting to say it was 20. Which, I mean, granted, that is the Wii version, but it was listed in the Wii U eShop, not the Wii shop. That means technically it was a new release for it. So that's one of those, where are we looking? Is this going to kind of be like how Tropical Freeze was, where they're going to throw enough bones to the players to where it's actually still going to be worth the 60? Or are we literally just going to get a port but without motion controls and it be priced really weird?
Probably without motion controls and priced really weird.
Because I'm sorry, it's going to be released on the Switch. Motion controls should, and I'm going to say this, should at least be optional.
Yeah.
I'm not one to say they need to be gone completely, because like I said, some people are fine with them. I don't like them. But if someone wants to use them, fine. But if that's the only thing they're changing, I don't think that's justified for 60. I really don't. Because, case in point, like I said, the only game that was forced motion controls regardless was 3. If you really wanted to play the first 2, you still could on Dolphin and not have to fight with it. Or if you wanted to do it legitimately on the GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the big question I have. They're gonna have to throw some kind of bone or it's not gonna sell. Persona 5 for Switch, that's bringing a game to a console that has never had a game from that series there. Chances are that's gonna make its own path, kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even touching the Link to the Past one.
I don't think anyone's touching that one until we have more information.
Because that is a Nintendo Explain.
I'm curious about the Switch version to see if it's like taking the PS3 version and like downgrading it to work on the Switch, or porting it over, because that version would work. Granted, the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4 versions are nearly identical to the point you could probably confuse anybody or fool anybody.
True.
But since we have Persona 5 Royal coming out as well, would this version have the added content from Royal, or would it just be the base game? Because that would suck if it didn't.
I would feel like if they were going to release it at this point, like if it came out before Royal, I feel like it probably wouldn't. But it would have it as a DLC option.
Yeah.
If it comes out alongside, then I think it should. And if it don't, then that's kind of cheapening it for Switch players.
Granted, we still don't know the extent of what Royal is offering us, so that's just another question in the air for Persona 5.
No, but I mean, at least if they're spinning it that way, I feel like they're going to have something. So it's one of those, it's like, if the Switch one comes out before, then I think that needs to be offered as DLC. Even if it's only for the Switch. If it comes out the same time, that's going to be where the problems are going to come in.
Yeah. Move on?
I guess.
Alright, next up. There's a current rumor circulating that apparently Xbox Live Gold and the Game Pass will be bundled together.
Not gonna lie, I'm kind of a fan of this.
I don't see why not at this point.
Well, the main reason I say I'm kind of a fan of this is because of the fact of Microsoft wanting to bring more than likely Live and the Game Pass to everything. It's one of those, if they're legitimately wanting to do that, this needs to happen.
Yeah. And you get $5 savings from month to month?
Yeah.
I mean, this seems like a extreme no-brainer of just, hey, we've got our service and we have our other service. Why don't we just put them together?
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure it's using the same server space.
Yeah.
And Game Pass is designed to where it downloads the game. So it's not like you're playing from the cloud, you're actually playing a downloaded version. The only difference is, if you quit paying that subscription, you can't play that game anymore.
Yeah. And if it's an online game, you need Live anyway to play it. So...
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I'm wanting to say right now Game Pass requires you to have Live. I can't swear to that, but I'm wanting to say it does.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So, I mean, I'm kind of fine with that all the way around. Especially when they've got games like Halo 5, Master Chief Collection, Minecraft, you know, the stuff that utilizes Xbox Live functionality. It's like, sure.
Well, anything else before we move on?
Nah.
Alright, did you watch the Borderlands 3 reveal at all?
Nope.
Oh my god, it was amazing. They tried to play a 4K video on a computer that was being overloaded, and it only played like the first few seconds every time. And that was the Borderlands 1 remaster, because just to kind of like roll this in, Borderlands 1 and 2 are getting remastered. Well, 1, 2, the pre-sequel are getting remastered. I believe 1 and 2 are out right now. At least 1 is, because I've seen people play it. But they're getting remastered with all their DLC, and we're getting Borderlands 3 finally on September 13th. And the trailer really didn't tell you anything. Besides, hey, it's Borderlands! Guns! Stuff! Shoot people! So, yay, the original looter shooter is here. Yay! You know, it's gonna be weird to look at this and go, you're a looter shooter, that's not online. There are going to be several hundreds of people are going to be like, wait, where's the online on this? Where's the persistent live service crap in this game? That just doesn't exist.
Why can't I see 99 other people running around? Because let's be honest, that's kind of where everyone's wanting.
Yep.
Which, I mean, I would think an MMO-esque Borderlands would kind of be neat. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
It would take one heck of a server space, though.
Yep.
Granted, I'm one of those that I see both sides of that.
I'm happy if Borderlands just goes, no, we are a single player game that with co-op. That is it. It's you and 3 people, and you go shoot and kill people and get guns. That's it. That's the short and long of it. That's all I want at this point from a looter shooter. You do not overcomplicate this. Everyone who's done this has overcomplicated it and made it worse. Like, did you know that an article came out that detailed the development of Anthem recently?
No.
Yeah. You want to know how they fucked up do you remember how they fucked up the development of Mass Effect Andromeda?
Uh-huh.
Same way. Literally the same way.
Sounds about right.
Like, oh my god. It was fucked up so hard. They didn't even have flying to start with. They were debating on flying for the game and kept taking it in and out. Like, ponder that one for a second. Flying, the most impressive looking thing from that game, they couldn't decide whether they wanted it or not. If that isn't a microcosm of everything wrong with the development of Anthem, I don't know what is. Yeah, Borderlands 3 is coming. Cool. Yay. Moving on. So this is a shorter one, and our last one, because, well, this is kind of surprising. Microsoft is apparently hiring for Legend of Zelda project. And this is not a rumor. This is confirmed. This is them on Twitter advertising this. Just straight up. Like, yo, we're hiring for a Legend of Zelda project. Who wants on board?
Which, you know, just gonna point out, and I think we talked about it, might have been on the stream actually. I didn't realize that they contributed to Breath of the Wild.
Neither did I. In hindsight, it makes sense.
Very true. But
especially as someone who's played.
It's like, wait a minute.
Especially as someone who's played.
That's one of those. It's like, wait a minute. They helped with that. So this is Breath of the Wild 2, essentially.
Possibly. Like, it makes sense in hindsight, especially if you played Chronicles 2, to go, You look at the areas there, and you come to Breath of the Wild, and they're like, I saw where you helped out at and getting these really cool view moments of just looking out and seeing the world, because that's what Chronicles 2 does all the time. Yeah, I'm curious because it's a Zelda project, not the next Zelda project, a Zelda project. So Like, what is this? Is this Breath of the Wild 2?
Well, you know, we've kind of got that. We've kind of especially got that mindset with the whole Zelda game from Crypt of the Nectar Dancer team.
Yeah.
And that might be what's throwing everyone off. This could be the next Zelda game. They just worded it that way.
Yeah.
Just in case maybe Nintendo's not 100% on where they want to go for the next Zelda game.
Uh-huh.
Like that's kind of what I would be thinking.
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm like, well, Microsoft doesn't do real-time combat. They do more like what you see in Xenoblade Chronicles, which it's more like turn-based stuff, kind of. Or not turn-based, I guess ATB gauge would be kind of more accurate. Not quite, but it's not quite the kind of gameplay that Breath of the Wild has, so I'm like, is it their own thing? Their own twist on Zelda? Because I'll be honest, I'm down for a 60-hour Zelda RPG.
I don't know. I honestly think if, since they were the ones that helped with Breath of the Wild, I kind of feel like that might be the idea with it. Either that, or maybe part of their agreement with Nintendo was they could use the Zelda universe in a game down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out in like 3 years.
Yeah, because if they're hiring for it now, we're not seeing this for a while.
If ever.
Yeah. I'm just really curious, because I'm like, I liked Chronicles 2. I actually am planning on streaming Chronicles 1 at some point on stream. Like, I want to see their take on Zelda. And they decide, fuck it, we deal with alternate timeline, multi-dimensional stuff in Xenoblade Chronicles already. Let's have a fucking, like, timeline hopping adventure where you recruit multiple links in an RPG setting.
Yeah.
Like, just picture that in your head for a second. Multiple, like, every party member is a Link, but they all play differently.
And I mean, that wouldn't be too far off to think. Because, I mean, there is a unique gimmick to most Zelda games.
Yeah. And if not that, just hopping around getting different party members from different timelines. Like I don't know, Ruta, Darunia, like, essentially pick 5 characters from Hyrule Warriors and that's your party.
And have it set up where if you really wanted to, you could have Link, and Link.
Yes. I mean, it could work either way. But that is it for articles. I cut the big long list of April Fool's jokes because there was nothing really interesting there. Be honest. It didn't help I was asleep for most of April Fool's.
Hey, you didn't miss much.
I didn't think so. So, let's talk releases! Oh boy. We got quite a few, actually. So, kicking off on the 8th, we have Ghosts 1.0 for PlayStation 4 and Jungle's Eve for Switch. On the 9th, we have Airplane Simulator 2019 for PlayStation 4 Dangerous Diving for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Falcon Age for PlayStation 4, Neo Atlas 1469 for Switch, Out There Omega the Allegiance for Switch, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Switch. God, I'm super tempted to pick that up, because I haven't played the original 3 Ace Attorney games. I've only played the 3DS ones. So if I've missed out on the start, and the fact that all 3 of them are on Switch is like, yes. Especially since I just finished Season 2 of the Ace Attorney anime that covered the 3rd game. It's fine. It rushes things a little bit, but it's fine. We got Super Weekend Mode for PlayStation 4 and Vita. Ultra Wings Flat for PlayStation 4. Vaporium for PlayStation 4. World of Tanks Rollout Collector's Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. And Zonky Zero Last Beginning Day 1 Edition for PlayStation 4. On the 10th, we have Cook Serve Delicious 2 for Xbox One and Switch. Gleaner Heights for Xbox One. Royal Roads for PlayStation 4. Switch and Shoot for Switch. The Mystery of Woolly Mountain for Switch. And Vaporium for Xbox One. On the 11th, we got Back to Bed for Switch, Bot Vice for Switch, Box of Line for Switch, Doggy Ninja, The Golden Mission for Switch, Earth Defense Force Iron Rain for PlayStation 4, Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice for Switch, Reigns Game of Thrones for Switch, Shadowgate for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Silence for Switch, Superstar Path for Switch, The Demon Crystal for Switch, Vaporium for Switch, and Way of the Passive Fist for Switch. On the 12th, we have a Dark Room for Switch, Constructor Plus for PlayStation 4, Dark Quest 2 for PlayStation 4, Final Fantasy X 10-2 HD Remastered for Switch, My Time at Portia for Switch, Path the Menominee Scene for Switch, Rolling Sky for Switch, Street Basketball for Switch, Tank Meets Zombies for Switch, Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions for Switch, and Wasteland 2 Director's Cut for Switch. On the 16th, we have Eternia, The Last Unicorn for Xbox One, 10-2 HD Remaster for Xbox One, Ghost Giant for PlayStation 4, Heaven's Vault for PlayStation 4, My Time at Portia for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Lost my spot. Table of Tales, The Crooked Crown for PlayStation 4, World of Warships Legends Ultimate Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and World War Z for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 17th, Revenant Saga for Xbox One, Snooker 19 for Xbox One, and Turbo Brook for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. On the 18th, we have Anniversary Collection Arcade Classics for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, Cuphead for Switch, God's Trigger for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Katana Zero for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Our World Is Ended for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Overcooked 2, Campfire Cook-Off for Xbox One, PlayStation 4 and Switch, Slabwell, The Quest for Hawk Tunes, Alpaca for Switch, okay, and the Padre for PlayStation 4 and Switch. On the 19th, we have Motor Rush GT for Switch, Nurse Love Syndrome for PlayStation 4, and Turbo Brook for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Ugh. Hard time speaking through all of that. Which brings us to Quick Draws, and mine is a 2-for-1 of April Fool's jokes that are real. So, you remember from the toy catalogs that we were getting a 4th Future Rider with Ginga?
Yep.
Well, Toei decided, hey, here's the Ginga suit on April Fool's Day. See how many of you actually believe that this is fake. For those curious, this is using the Meteor, or the Forza Fusion State's body, Meteor's boots, and I believe that is a mage helmet that they have modified to a certain extent. So this is Ginga, everybody. And apparently in the tweet, Lupat was tagged. So it's possible that a Lupat actor will be playing Ginga. Maybe? Question mark? Also, they threw in the Ginga piece for the driver in the Mirai driver set, so there's that for you. So what do you think?
It doesn't look as dumb as, like, Quiz did.
Yeah. Granted, I feel like Quiz feels like you were gonna be the worst one because you have the weakest concept.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, this is literally space. You can't go wrong with space.
Yeah, just ask Forza.
Yeah. I mean, literally, most of this is a Forza suit.
Well, I mean, would you expect anything else?
No, to be honest.
I mean...
Especially when that helmet looks extremely like Forza.
Yeah. Like, super like it. Like, the visor's the only thing major that I would say would be different between them.
Yeah.
To be fair, if it wasn't for the stupid Jiku driver, you almost could pass this off as a new Forza form.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see it.
Like, the stupid Jiku driver is what kills it, though.
The Jiku driver is the problem with all of the suits, primarily.
Well, and you know, it wouldn't have been bad if one of the future riders used it. Because it is utilized different.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that all four do, and they're all four future riders from different years, is like, okay, so you just broke your own continuity. How many of your riders use the same belt?
Across series, none.
Uh-huh. My point exactly. Because for all intents and purposes, you could treat each of these four as their own series. But they all use the same driver? I mean, I get they did that for budget.
Yeah.
But they could have tried to make something work. Make it look different for each of the four. Or make it not look like a badly painted Jiku driver on them.
Yeah. I just still can't figure out how the fuck they picked a gray that brought out details of the driver instead of hide them.
I don't know. Because looking at it in this picture, it's like, yeah, how did you do that? You wanted it to blend in, you should have just dipped it in a black paint bucket and been done with it.
Yeah. Well, and better news?
Question mark?
What was originally a April Fool's joke in 2017 is now real and is going to happen with 2 episodes and is being billed as the last Heisei rider. Fucking Kamen Rider Brain. Fucking Brain's gonna become a rider. And Riku Sajo, the writer of Drive, is writing this. And this is real. So, yeah, stuff clattered off my desk. So, not only is Heart canonically a brain, or fucking brain. Heart is canonically a writer. Now Brain is a writer. How long till Medic becomes a writer?
Good question.
I mean, you might as well finish off the trio.
Except they probably never will.
Probably not. I can't believe they did 2 April Fool's jokes and they're both real. That's all I got. Tell me, what do you got?
Well, I've actually got a shout out to the new alpha version of the Odyssey Moon randomizer I've been working on. Give me a second, because I'm trying to get the screen cap of it. Because, you know, stuff like that. Really? God. Love how OBS would just screw me like that every time. Hold on. I just broke like everything. And now I gotta fix it. And when I say like everything, I mean everything.
How the fuck is it that the Ryuki one apparently is the harder to get a hold of one of the 2 writer times, and yet it has 2/3 of its episode count subbed, whereas Shinobi has 0?
Reasons.
I didn't even really like the first episode of the Ryuki one.
But I got it fixed. But yeah. This is as OBS decides it's going to drop frames for no discernible reason. Thank you.
Yay.
This is the effectively 2.0 alpha. Like, I debated on calling this 1.3 because that was the original plan for adding festival percent in, but then I got to thinking, you know, I've kind of basically just did an overhaul of the entire thing. Kind of can't do that. But essentially, which it is not complete, but what'll happen is you'll be able to pick between any percent, festival percent, and at least world peace, because I might try to add world peace in before the full release. And I'm also going to try to figure out moon sets to where there'll be 3 different lengths of the randomizer. One that's geared towards close to, like, for instance, with any percent, maybe one that's kind of geared towards between 1 to 2 hours time. One that's kind of just geared like it is right now, which I think if you had finished it, you probably would have finished about 3.5 hours, which isn't too bad considering some of the moons that we had. But I think that's going to kind of be the normal setting, where that one will be between like 2 and 4 hours. And then a long one which will start implementing some of the cut moons. That might not be coming out by the time the release of 2 does, simply for the fact of I can I can do the shorter one easier. The long one's going to be the trick, because I'm going to have to figure out how to implement those in to where they don't accidentally wind up in the others.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the base goal is just trying to set up an any percent festival, and festival percent. I'm not really going to focus on world peace, but that's going to kind of be in the works. But right now, and I'm going to see if I can get this screen to pop over for it. Right now, though, yep, I do have it set up for working with Festival. I've not actually tested it, so I don't know how well it'll work. But ooh, I've got to fix something too. Because I'm seeing it. But effectively, you'll be able to go down through and randomize for any of it. Festival, I might try to test tomorrow, ? It might either be tomorrow or Wednesday. But I think at some point this week I'm going to test it to see. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There'll be a link to the GitHub where you can get it and play around with it. More than likely, the alpha will be the only thing that'll be out for a little while. I do want to kind of play around, and I might try to play around and add world peace in there first. But I'm also going to kind of add some graphics and layout stuff to the selection screen to where it's not just text. So yeah, definitely a lot of work going to be going into that. But I think that's about it on mine. So yep.
Yeah, you haven't checked out the Ryuki Rider Time, have you?
I actually have.
Oh, the first episode?
Yep.
What did you think of it?
I feel like it doesn't do as good of a job in kind of explaining.
Well, as someone who's seen Ryuki, I couldn't help but go, this is like the first 10 episodes of Ryuki kind of condensed down to some extent, outside of Tezuka betraying everyone, even though that's not his character. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like I said, I felt like a big issue there was nothing is explained. At least not in a way that you would grasp it without watching the show, so it feels like it's really lost on some people.
Yeah. Also, Abyss is here to job out like a fucking jobber. Jesus. But also, most of the people that die in this are new characters that are taking up old suits, and I'm like, why do I care? I literally just met you. Literally just met you. I don't care for it. I just want the Shinobi one subbed so I can fucking watch probably a better show. At least I hope so.
I don't know if it does about as good of a job as the Ryuki one. Not holding my breath for it now.
Yeah. Episode 2 just came out, so I'll be watching that after the show. Ugh. God. Geo. continues to suck. I hate it. At least Ryusoku is good so far.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, Geo's kind of wound up on the back burner for me. I can honestly say, though, I'm fine with watching it far more than I would have been trying to suffer through Kabuto.
Yeah.
And that's about the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I feel that way. I'm just at the point where
I'm kind of also at the point of I've watched this far, now I kind of want to see it to the end.
I just want to see how many times they fuck up a show's continuity.
Oh, you could turn that into a drinking game. And be drunk by the end of the second episode.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to the drive arc. I'm not even looking forward to the Agito one next week. Because I like Agito, and I can't wait for them to fuck that one up so hard. Because I'm sure they'll find some very special way of fucking it up.
Oh, I also meant to mention, is it bad that both Tsukasa and Kaito are both far more interesting than any of the characters in the show right now? Because it's like they both have purpose. How do you do that? How do you manage to write two returning characters better than you can your main cast? Like, how? I don't get that.
Because they've stumbled with their characterization for like 30 episodes now, and we didn't get to see it before because they wrote everyone else with like minimal amount of lines, so you couldn't tell. But now you can tell.
Well, and you know, it's kind of like, okay, what episode number was this last one that was subbed?
29.
Okay. So it's took us 29 episodes to get why Waz, Gates, and Tsukiyomi know each other, and why Gates wants to kill Waz.
Which, shouldn't he hate him more than he does?
You would think.
That feels like I hate you more than just I can tolerate your existence. That should be I literally wish to murder you every time you are within 5 feet of me.
Yeah.
Also, still doesn't really inform us of Tsukiyomi's character that much. Or Gates's, just gives us a little background and that's kind of it.
Well, I mean, you know, they're more important than the nameless resistance schmucks that are there. Because they actually have a name.
Yep.
Like, that's what's bad. That's the only differential between the three of them and everyone else that they've shown in them flashback/forwards. Like, honestly, I have to say this. Sogo makes a valid point. Gates and Waz are going back and forth about their quote-unquote old days that technically are in the future. So how do you classify that?
The past yet to be?
Like, that is one thing I can honestly agree with him on. It's like, you know, wouldn't that actually be in the future?
Yeah. Also, just for reference, because I've seen the Raw for 30, you know how we've gotten that the Star of Regulus is important and stuff?
Except for it probably isn't.
Oh no, it's important for Trinity. It plays into the activating Trinity.
Okay.
Its light is what turns Gates and Waz into those watch forms. So we get Trinity.
I don't even anymore.
And also, it literally acts like Climax from Deno. They even, like, I swear to God, I could pull up the debut of Climax form from Deno, and it plays just like the Trinity debut, and I'm like, why do we keep mixing up the tribute arcs with the form changes? There's a disconnect here because you're doing the wrong tribute in the wrong time. I don't get Geo. I'm probably gonna hate this Blade episode when it gets subbed. This is probably gonna be like, oh, Hajime's human now, and I'm like, how? Like, I get Kenzaki here. I don't get Hajime. He's literally an undead. He's not a human turned into an undead. No, he's literally an undead. You can't just take that part away from him. Now he's human. That's not even his human form. That's someone else's human form. Actually, that's not even a human. That's technically an undead to start with. God damn it. Anything else?
No.
Alright then. Next week, we'll be back on our regular schedule after I was sick and not able to do 2 streams. So, double. 1,000 Year Door, we'll be back. I guess I'll keep doing some more Mario Party just for fun. For a little while.
Might as well.
Anything you got?
Well, obviously the Odyssey Moon Rando. And probably gonna be doing some more Daggerhood. But other than that, I don't really have anything.
I might live tweet WrestleMania tomorrow. I probably won't. I'll probably just sit back and watch it. I live tweeted last year's WrestleMania. But I don't think I'm live tweeting this year's WrestleMania because, oh my god, does half this card not interest me at all? And 5.5 hours of live tweeting is just like, I'm going to probably go to bed at some point during this because I don't care. But we'll be back in 2 weeks talking more new stuff. I think we actually will be talking about the Persona 5 S. Yeah. No. Not quite. Next show after. But I'm sure we'll have other news to talk about in 2 weeks. So until then, folks,